Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am sharing with you what is in my post-festival routine. For those that don't know me, my name is Ada. I'm a music festival content creator, and like I said, I am doing what is in my post-festival routine video today. I did do a what is in my pre-festival routine video that I will link up here for you guys. And so this was a two-part series. So I talked about, what do I do in my pre-festival routine to get ready for the festivals. And so now I'm going to be sharing with you what I do after music festivals. And to be honest, this is all about recovery, because that's all you should really focus on after a music festival. And so today I'm going to be diving into some of the important components when it comes to recovering from a music festival. I did do a video about this a very long time ago. It was back after Electric Forest. I will still link it up here, but give me a break. That was probably still 1 year within me creating festival content, so I can't promise the quality on it at all. However, I have been going to music festivals since 2015, and I feel like I have learned a lot about how to bounce back from a music festival, because I have definitely been there where I have gotten so sick after music festivals and it is just not the vibes and we're not here for it. So I'm going to give you guys my best tips on what I do to recover. And if you do like today's video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to vibe with me. So if you did check out that pre-festival video, I did mention a lot of things. What you do to prepare for festivals and during your festival will help when it comes to the recovery of the festival. So I wanted to touch a little bit on that just because, when we are getting caught up in the fun, it's so exciting to be back at festivals. We do tend to overextend ourselves or overexert ourselves, and then it makes it really hard for us to recover after the festival. So I think some of the important things that you do beforehand and do during the festival can help you recover a lot faster and help you bounce back a lot faster. So for example, getting enough sleep before the festival, getting enough sleep during the festival, doing things like, drinking vitamin C or taking supplements and stuff like that can help you bounce back way quicker after the festival. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about that because, we get really excited. It feels so good to be back at these music festivals. But sometimes we need to pick our moments, maybe don't stay up every single night of the festival. Maybe just pick one of the nights that you're going to do an after party for. I know Chase and I, for Seismic Dance Event, we did an after party Friday night. We didn't do one Saturday, and then we did one Sunday night. And oh my gosh, we will never do an after party on a Sunday night ever again. Because that Monday was a wash. We didn't do anything. I didn't do anything, which is fine because I'm self-employed. I can take the time off. But I just felt so tired, and I was just like, I can't get anything done. I need to get stuff done. And I didn't do anything that day. Also, certain things like partaking in party favors or alcohol, maybe not doing that all throughout the whole weekend, because then you will have a very hard recovery, because we are putting our bodies through so much. And, there's also general rules of thumb that Dance Safe and some other creators talk about when it comes to harm reduction is, it's a marathon, not a sprint, especially if you have not been partaking in anything or drinking, during the pandemic. It might be good to also just kind of dip your toes back in the water. Maybe not go full throttle, because our tolerance levels are so different now. We've been inside this whole time, or we've been just taking it easy. We haven't been around a whole lot of people. So our immunity systems are going to get tested. Tolerance is going to get tested. So definitely just keep those things in mind while you're going throughout your festival weekend. Maybe then you will have an easier time recovering. You'll be less likely to get sick. One of the sure ways to get sick is if you're not eating right, you're not getting enough sleep, and you're not prioritizing your immunity, and you just kind of throw everything out the window, then you are more likely to get sick. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about, obviously with everything going on, I'm talking mainly about just getting wook flu, things like that. And also, if we are going to these events during a pandemic, you might want to take some extra precautions of wearing a mask or not sharing drinks with people, not sharing your hydration pack with people, things like that. So that's kind of what I'm talking about what you can be doing before the festival and during the festival, so that all you have to focus on is just resting and recovery. I know I asked a lot of people on Instagram what they do in their post-festival routine, so I'll also share some of those ideas as well. But for me, like I said, I'm focusing on sleep. So the moment I get back from a festival, I am prioritizing sleep. I try and plan my flights at a good time. So say, for example, I'm coming back from EDC EDC. I know EDC ends at 6 a.m. I'm not rushing to get to the airport right away just because I don't know when I'm getting out of the campgrounds essentially. So our flight isn't until like maybe 8 o'clock, and then that way I just get home, can sleep. I know some people, they like to extend their Vegas trip a day, and they'll stay in Vegas on that Monday, catch up on their sleep, get their sleep schedule back on schedule, and then they'll fly out on that Tuesday. So that's another thing you can do in your pre-festival routine, is kind of build in your PTO to take time off so you have time to get your sleep schedule back on track and just to give your body that rest that it needs. So that's an example of something that you can do beforehand so that you're giving yourself enough rest and you're getting back on track that way, and you can plan your travel schedule that way. And that is the main thing I'm doing. You know, I still have to work when I come back, but I'm being pretty strict about when I do go to bed. I'm not staying up super late just so I can get my body back on schedule and I can get my body the rest it needs so I don't get sick. When it comes to nutrition, so I used to be the type of girl that when I came back from music festivals, I wouldn't get back on my like healthy eating or anything like that until the next week, and I would just allow myself to eat whatever I wanted. Now I'm not doing that as much just because my digestion always gets thrown off on a festival weekend. So now I'm trying to get back from the festivals and get my digestion back under control again and just have my body functioning the way it should be functioning and just giving myself those nutrients again, because I most likely went without those nutrients over the weekend. So I give myself some leniency, maybe the one day that we're traveling back, because maybe we're stuck with like airport food, or maybe I'm just craving a bowl of ramen. But then the next day is when I try and start, you know, having my smoothies again, taking my probiotics and like all that kind of stuff for gut health. But I'm not going full throttle like I'm back in a cutting phase. I'm just more so eating more at my maintaining level, you know, so I can just get my body the nutrients it needs, give it the fuel it needs so that I can work through a full day and go to bed when I need to go to bed. And I did mention this in the pre-festival video that you can pre-buy your stuff, maybe put it in the freezer. That way you don't have to make a grocery trip right away. So like when I come back, I always have stuff in the freezer like fruits, spinach, stuff like that for smoothies, and then I have maybe like some chicken and some veggies in the fridge, and then I have like rice and beans and stuff like that on hand so I can put together like salads, or I can put together like rice bowls and stuff like that for when I come back and I don't have to worry about going to the grocery store. And then maybe I'll go to the grocery store like later in the week just to pick up on some other things I might need. Also on the health train when it comes back to fitness, so I don't go back to the gym right away. I also am mainly going back to the gym maybe 3 days after I come back, 2 to 3 days. But even then, I'm only just walking on the treadmill, or I'm doing stretches, or I'm doing very low weights on the exercises I do at the gym, just because I don't want to put so much stress or strain on my body. So I'm really just doing it for the purposes of staying active and also just getting out of the house. That's one way to kind of overcome the post-festival blues, which I'll talk about, is just like getting out of your bed or getting out of your house and doing something just to keep your body moving. And so that's kind of my main priority when it comes to going back to the gym after a festival, is just like mobility and stretching and like stuff like that. I used to take a whole week off the gym. I don't do that anymore just because my body feels really good just doing some type of movement, and allows me to just stay flexible and stuff like that too. So that's kind of important to me. So do whatever you can, even if you just need to go for walks and do stretching at home. I also have a foam roller here at home, and that always feels good after a festival. If we ever have a festival that we can like, that we just need to drive to, or it's right here in Austin, I'm foam rolling throughout the whole weekend because it just feels so good. And so that's something that I do even after the festival, is just do some foam rolling, some stretching, and it just feels so good. Also, I definitely recommend doing more stretching at the festival because I love a good stretch in the middle of a set. It just always feels so good. Then I also mentioned some vitamins too. So I definitely do a lot of vitamin C in emergency. You can also look at getting some like electrolyte sticks and stuff like that, and have some of those during the festival just to replenish your electrolytes and stay hydrated throughout the festival. I recently did become an ambassador for Raverade, Raverade, which has been super, super exciting. Raverade has actually become a product that is definitely in my festival supplies from here on out. It is a hydration stick that obviously focuses on hydration, but also on immunity and neuroprotection. We are putting our bodies through so much during a festival weekend, and so this is definitely something that you can drink before a festival, during a festival, and after a festival. So I've tried it out on weekends of going to shows and where I'm drinking and stuff like that, and it has helped so much. Even for shows that I don't drink but I stay up kind of late for, then I also have a Raverade stick, and it's definitely changed the game for me, and the taste is also really good. And I do have a code. You can use Vibe with 8, and that does give you 10% off. I will link them down below. I've loved working with this brand so far, and I just can't wait to see what comes from them, because they are just so focused on protecting our community and making sure that we're all feeling good and protecting our little brains and staying hydrated and just feeling good throughout the festival weekend. So it's totally something I can get behind. If that is something you are wanting to do, definitely check it out. I have used other rave products before, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really like them necessarily. This has definitely been something that I've liked a lot more and enjoyed a lot more. Some other supplements I also take, I definitely also use magnesium. I take magnesium daily anyway, not just in a festival weekend, but I do take magnesium daily. I take it before, during, and after a festival. It helps with joints and muscles and things like that. It's also really good for hormonal health and gut health too, so that's something that I take. Some other supplements that I used to take back in the day that really helped with my immunity was also things like echinacea, elderberry. I've also heard people talk about garlic extracts and stuff like that. So definitely just use your best judgment and do your research on it. Right now, I particularly just stick with vitamin C, these hydration sticks, magnesium. Those are kind of my core ones that I will stick with during this festival season. But those are ones that I'm going to be taking before, during, and after. Another common one I hear a lot about is 5-HTP. So definitely do your research on that if that is something you would need in your recovery. Also, just be careful with things like that if you are partaking in that, just because there are certain things like serotonin syndrome that can happen. So just be careful when it comes to taking some of those supplements, and just do your own research on that. As for some other ideas on what some other people have done for their post-festival recovery, I did see a lot of people talk about taking massages after, which I've never done, but I'm kind of here for. I saw that and I was like, wow, why have I never thought about that? Maybe getting a little post-festival massage could help. I did see a lot of people flex their PTO so they can take some days off after the festival just to recover. I never had the luxury of having a lot of PTO, so I never did that. However, now I'm self-employed, so I can be a lot more flexible with my time, so I definitely will be doing that just to give myself more recovery time. So I'm definitely excited about that. But those were definitely some common ones that really interested me. Also, you know, we are going to festivals during a pandemic, so you might also want to think about getting tested after you go to a festival and maybe quarantining until you get those results, just so we are not impacting, you know, the people that we live with or the people in our communities by our choices of attending these festivals. So whatever your opinion is on that, I just wanted to call that out, that could be something that you might want to do just to be safe, and so we can keep on having these events happen. For me, I work from home, so I'm able to kind of quarantine a little bit. That is definitely something I'm going to be practicing. That resonates for you, great. If not, also great. So I just wanted to call that out because it kind of be a little ignorant for me to not talk about it during a pandemic. So I just wanted to talk about that in the post-festival routine. So I hope this helped you guys out in refocusing and just figuring out what you need to do and what you need to focus on in your post-festival routine as we are getting back to these festivals. And so I just want to remind you guys, what you do in your pre-festival routine and what you do during a festival will definitely impact how you recover for the festival. So keep that all in mind. Focus on hydration, immunity, and sleep, and hopefully that will serve you well as you attend these music festivals. And then also just keep in mind, you know, giving yourself that rest and just doing what you need to do to recover so that you don't get sick, and then also potentially getting tested or taking care of yourself afterwards, since we are choosing to go to a festival during a pandemic. I do hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to vibe with me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.